As Dimmadel emerged from the portal, she was greeted by a cool breeze and the scent of pine and earth. The landscape was a stark contrast to the bustling city of Lobelia. Mounds Mine was nestled in a lush valley surrounded by rolling hills and dense forests. The keep itself, though not as grand as Lowgate, was impressive in its own right, with sturdy stone walls and a majestic tower that overlooked the surrounding countryside. Dimmadel's new home had an air of quiet dignity. The keep was well maintained, with ivy creeping up the walls and flower gardens that added a touch of colour to the grey stone. The courtyard was bustling with activity as the local villagers went about their daily routines. Dimmadel could see the village of Mounds Mine in the distance, a quaint collection of cottages and farms. The group walked with a half-leisure slightly away from the bustling buildings ahead of them, along nicely crafted cobbled stepping stones that led to the keep. A Joel led the way through the main gate, which creaked slightly as it opened. The interior of the keep was warm and inviting, with tapestries of badgers and polished wooden floors inlaid with copper linings. A friendly-looking steward with blue garments and a woolen cap met them with a bow. "Welcome, Lady Maribel. My name is Arlen Sovrigan. Your steward here at Mounds Mine." He greeted warmly before saying, "I trust your journey was pleasant?" Dimmadel managed a smile despite her nerves. "Thank you, Mr. Arlen. It was as smooth as could be." A Joel nodded toward the grand hall. "This is where you'll be meeting your new staff and discussing your upcoming duties. I'll go and make sure the portal to the school is prepared for you." Dimmadel took a deep breath and followed Mr. Arlen into the grand hall. It was a large room with high ceilings, adorned with banners and heraldic symbols of Mounds Mine's animals, which again seemed to favor those that dug. Moles, prairie dogs, rabbits. A long wooden table occupied the center of the room, and around it sat various members of the keep's staff, all of whom rose to their feet as Dimmadel entered. "Everyone, this is Lady Maribel," a Mr. Arlen introduced her. "She will be overseeing the management of Mounds Mine from now on. I do hope you all will show her much respect and kindness. She was appointed here by Queen Alaray herself." After he spoke, there were a great many strange looks on the faces of her staff. Confusion, wonder, and what was that she saw on a few? Irritation. Dimmadel took her seat at the head of the table, feeling the weight of her new responsibilities. She scanned the faces around her, an assortment of servants, advisors, and village leaders, each waiting for her to speak. "Thank you all for your warm welcome," Dimmadel began. "I look forward to working with each of you and learning how best to serve the needs of Mounds Mine, and to further any progress and goals set by the kingdom." Mr. Arlen stepped forward. "Lady Maribel, the first order of business will be a tour of the keep and the village. It will help you get acquainted with your new home and meet some of the key figures in the village." Dimmadel nodded and said, "I'd appreciate that. Shall we begin?" Mr. Arlen swept a wide hand to gesture their departure, and Dimmadel followed behind him as they exited. As they toured the keep, Mr. Arlen explained the various areas and their functions. The kitchens were bustling with activity in preparation for tonight's meal for the keep's inhabitants. The armory was stocked with weapons and armor, and the stables were home to a number of fine horses. One of the horses, she noted, had an exquisitely striking grey colour that was almost blue. She asked Mr. Arlen the name of that horse, and got a dry chuckle from the man before he said, "That's old Ghostfoot. He used to be our best scout's horse before he went missing a while back in the mine. That horse hasn't let a single person ride him since. He was scheduled to be sold to Transcourt to be a carriage horse next month." Dimmadel thought it couldn't be right that such a fine steed got reduced down to a simple carriage horse. But let her thoughts not wander any further as Mr. Arlen started to get some ground on her, and she hurried to catch back up to her tour. Dimmadel was particularly struck by the library, which was filled with ancient tomes and scrolls. Running her hands along the spines of the books, she looked for any that might interest her. She found a book titled Red Love that seemed to be about murder and poetry, and pocketed it for later. After the tour, they proceeded onward to the village. The people of Mounds Mine were a friendly and welcoming sort, and Dimmadel was pleased to see that they were thriving. She met with the village mayor, a kindly woman named Elder, who introduced her to the various villagers. Elder, with a warm smile, said, "Lady Maribel, we're honored to have you here. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to ask. We've had a good harvest this year, and everything is running smoothly. Let us know if you need anything in the keep restocked." Dimmadel felt a sense of relief wash over her. The village seemed well managed, and the people were content. As the day wore on, she became more comfortable in her new role, shaking hands of fellow nearby nobles and common folk alike. Back at the keep that evening, Dimmadel gathered her new guards and advisors for a brief meeting. Sir Workley, Sir Wallace, Sir Warner, Lady Passion, Lady Azure, Lady Fly, and Sir Slink all took their places around the table. "We've made good progress today," Dimmadel said. "I want to ensure that we continue to build a positive relationship with the villagers and manage the keep efficiently. I'll be relying on each of you to help me navigate this new responsibility." Sir Longfellow, who had been quiet throughout the meeting, spoke up. "Lady Maribel, your parents chose you for this role because of your strength and wisdom. Trust in yourself, and know that we are here to support you." Dimmadel appreciated the encouragement. "Thank you, Sir Longfellow. I'll do my best to honor their trust and serve Mounds Mine well." The meeting concluded, and Dimmadel retired to her chambers. As she settled into her new bed, she took a moment to reflect on the day's events. Despite her apprehension, she felt a growing sense of determination. She was ready to embrace her new life and face the challenges ahead. She decided to start on the book she had grabbed. It was about a young girl who was set on a journey to find love. As the girl was navigating her fresh adulthood, she suddenly had to pick up shop and leave to meet her betrothed. Dimmadel related heavily with the moody but serene character, and began to doze with those thoughts of missing home. That night, as she drifted off to sleep, Dimmadel couldn't shake the feeling that her journey was just beginning. The future was uncertain, but she was determined to face it with courage and resolve. And it was with all of those thoughts held that Dimmadel began dreaming.